Hi everybody, I'm Kevin Weiss from bodyperformance.net, and today I'm teaming with Riptone Fitness Products to bring you a video on tips for the advanced trainer. Continuing to make progress when you move from the intermediate stage to the advanced stage can be very frustrating. You've put in the time and you paid your dues, but progress can be very slow. That's okay, don't get frustrated. If you've reached the advanced stage of training, you're already well beyond what most people will ever achieve. That doesn't mean that you can't make progress though. Here are 3 tips that I think will help you out. Tip number 1, don't train heavy all the time. Now heavy is a relative term. For a beginner, 100 pounds might be heavy, and they can benefit from training closer to this limit more often. For an advanced lifter, it's likely much higher than this. When you first started out, you judged your progress on how much the weights increased from week to week, month to month, and even year to year. But now, the weights have plateaued or stalled for long periods of time. And guess what? That's completely fine and totally normal. You have surpassed the point where progress is largely measured by numbers. Advanced trainers can get more out of relatively less weight because they've developed better neurological pathways, what people refer to as the mind-muscle connection. Just one example that you could use is push hard against a lighter weight like it weighs more. Let's take an example of, say, 60% of your max. Push on it like you're trying to move 85 or 90% of your max. The muscles will get the same stimulation, but your joints will be saved. Spend more time focusing on the quality of your work instead of just on the quantity of the weight. Trust me, you'll thank me in the long run. Tip number 2, analyze and target weaknesses. Advanced trainers should have a very good grasp on proper technique, but that does not mean there isn't room for improvement. I've been training for over 35 years, and I still constantly videotape my working sets to look for flaws and places that I can improve. There is always room for improvement, and when you find a weakness or a fault, don't just ignore it. Attack it. If you're weak out of the bottom of your squat, start doing more pause squats. If you find that you're having a hard time maintaining a neutral spine angle, get doing more core work. You know the old saying that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So find these weaknesses and make them into strengths. You're not going to get better just doing things that you're good at. Tip number 3, do not neglect mobility and cardio work. Many advanced lifters suffer from overall tightness and general lack of conditioning because they've avoided the stuff that they don't like to do for a very long time. Eventually, you're going to have to pay for this neglect with injuries and possibly a lower quality of overall health. And that kind of defeats the purpose of why you started doing this in the first place. I've made this mistake myself. I get it. Cardio and mobility work can be quite boring, and you love lifting, so that's what you'd rather be doing. If you want to keep doing what you love though, you have to make time for this maintenance work. Imagine if you had a beautiful car and when you got it, it ran perfectly, no issues, but then you didn't do any oil changes, you didn't change the tires, no general maintenance whatsoever. Guess what happens? Over time, now you got a piece of junk that can't even get you from point A to point B. You don't have to spend a ton of time doing it either. Consistency is key. If you took 10 minutes a day and did some proper mobility work and did that consistently, it's going to make a big difference. If you take 2 days a week and do 30 to 40 minutes of cardio to get your heart rate up and do that consistently, over a few months, it's going to make a huge difference in how you move and how you feel. You'll probably notice that you'll perform better in the gym and have less injuries. Less injuries means more training. More training means more progress. So I hope the advanced lifters out there can relate to these tips and find them useful. I'm Kevin Weiss from bodyperformance.net, teaming with Riptone Fitness Products. Hope this helps you out. I'll talk to you again real soon.